question is important in terms of answering, but this is the pen. I was asked what pen I use in my journal, and I use this one simply because the paper in my journals are just really nice. It takes that ink very well. But here's what you've probably been waiting for, and it's not overwhelming, I know, but this is generally what my journal entries look like. I sit down and I usually doodle something, and I apologize if you hear anything outside because they're installing a new heating element in my driveway, so when it gets cold it'll be able to melt the snow and such. But usually some kind of a doodle or draw, and just I've always done that. So they may not always be Asian centered or martial arts centered, but there's usually some kind of a doodle or such in the lower right hand corner of the journal here. And then I just write down the information that has my expectations for the week. And this was my Monday's journal entry in this journal. You can see, like I said, if people see these things, it doesn't really mean a whole lot to anyone, especially if you're not familiar with my information and my concepts. But things I'm looking for, and then this is, again, one small little area where I'm not trying to make that public. These are personal things that are on my mind. And then I do a wellness and a focus, things I'm going to be worrying about conquering for that particular trading day or week and keeping them in focus. And then I have the weekly calendar, Big Rocks, which is basically the events that I'm looking for that's going to be more impactful for the week. And then I go up here and I record what my expectations are, what I'm expecting to see, things that are going to filter for my trade decisions. And I try to keep them really short and sweet and try not to have a whole lot of things and moving parts. And then I put in something that would be a filter that would keep me from either participating again or engaging, or what it would take for me to change my mind and move to the sidelines. So anyway, I hopefully you found this insightful, and I'll talk to you next time. We're not going to go low. Question is important.